So once again, warm welcome to all the students and faculties for the Machine Learning with Python workshop series. So this is the third workshop out of six. The first one which we have done, Python with Machine Learning, where the basics of Python we have taught, which are all basic concepts of Python, which are important for us to get into the machine learning. So, and second session, we have started off with data analysis and data visualization. So how we have to do data analysis and data visualization. So we have done that through IBM Cloud. So some basics of it we have seen, and rest it is your duty to explore more on that, right? How to do data pre-processing and exploratory data analysis of it, right? And I have also explained you very clearly how to avail IBM badges, right? So as I have already told you, IBM is not going to provide any direct certificates or badges for you directly through email. Rather, I have shown you certain links where you can go ahead and register for some badge programs like Python for data science, data analysis using Python, data visualization using Python, and machine learning with Python. So these are the four, badge programs which are helpful for you all, right? Since the topic is machine learning, so these are all four badges are around with machine learning. So you can start off this one by one and complete the exercises over there, whatever people have given. If you complete it and if you score some 60 or 70% of mark in each and every badge program, automatically you yourself to your email ID only badge will come directly from the website. Fine. So it is up to you and your patience and your interest levels, the way how you will take it further. Okay. So here, the intention of our workshop series is like to enlighten you guys with the key emerging technology area, obviously machine learning. So we would like to make you understand some sort of machine learning algorithms, and then where we will leave you. So from here on, you have to start learning on by your own. Okay. So let's get into the actual topic of the day. So before that, let me confirm whether my voice is good or not with my colleagues. Since looks like it's going smooth, good. Okay, so I keep myself little, so the first session of machine learning, you have to understand lots of, theoretical concept, terminology of machine learning, that I try to keep myself very minimal to make you understand the concepts of machine learning. I'll try to position with, pictures as well. So there are couple of, decks I am going to show. One is like with the text, the other is like with more of the pictures. End of day outcome of this workshop must be you should be able to go ahead and explain what is machine learning, types of machine learning, the architecture, the tree, okay, how does it looks like, and the core terminology of machine learning, right? And your steps involved in building a machine learning project. So all these basics you should be able to explain to someone, right? Learn like a trainer, right? Okay, so and we will also explore one of the key algorithm, that is regression. Okay, so followed by we'll see demo. So more or like it will be like 50% of the theory and 50% of the hands-on. Okay, so don't bother about the hands-on. I'm telling you, there is a specific code. I am gonna share that link with you all, GitHub link, right? You have direct, already written files are there, IPYNB, IPython notebook files are there. Okay, with the comments. Okay, it will take hardly 5 minutes time for you to execute the entire machine learning model. But point is, you have to understand the concepts pretty clearly. So I'll try to make myself easy and make you understand the concepts for you in a very easy fashion. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so we've been in the last session also, I have tried explaining you. So what is machine learning? It is an application of AI. So it is subset of AI right? So what are we going to learn in this concept of machine learning? So basically we are going to read, we are going to learn the existing data, right? And from which we are going to helpful, we are going to predict the future decisions, right? So our machine learning algorithms helps in learning the previous data, and that helps in predicting the future for us. So I will talk more on machine learning definition by showing some examples. But for now, try to understand machine learning does not contain lots of coding stuff as such. It is like, you have to know how to build a model. How we are going to build a model is, there are some steps involved in this. You have to have a huge amount of data at first in place, and that data, okay, if you see down the diagram, right? So training data you can see over there. So training data coming to machine learning algorithm, just try to understand on a very naive level, basic level. So basically a label says what? Labels is something which uh, in the data, in the training data, you will have what the thing which I am going to predict. Okay, so the things which you are going to predict, which is present in the training data, we call them as like, label. Okay, so basically I'll talk more about on the training data once if I show the pictures and Excel sheets. But on a nutshell, you try to understand, for the machine learning algorithm, we are passing on the data, and algorithm is getting trained on the data. And then what happens is, whenever a new data is coming into the picture, now your algorithm is in a proper position to predict what is that outcome is going to be. Okay, so your model helps for us in predictions. Okay, so finding future. Okay, so there are lots of machine learning algorithm is basically classified majorly into two types: supervised and unsupervised. But few people also say semi-supervised. Few people also say reinforced, right? So those are all secondary. But if you have to understand machine learning, right, in a nutshell, almost all the machine learning algorithms are broadly categorized into two types: supervised and unsupervised, right? So let's get familiarized with the terminology first. So supervised learners are used to construct the predictive models. Okay, right? So predictive modeling, okay, predictive analytics, people call, right? These are the terminologies you keep here a lot from the faculties or people who are into the industry or who are into this area, that people call predictive analytics, predictive modeling, right? Predictive modeling means it's all like, supervised data, right? To supervised machine learning algorithms are comes under the predictive modeling techniques, right? So try to I still say that I have not yet explained what exactly supervised and unsupervised. But for the next 10 minutes, try to grab the terminology. Okay, so supervised learning algorithms are called predictive modeling techniques. Okay, right. Now unsupervised learners are used to build descriptive models. So unsupervised learning algorithm techniques helps in descriptive models. Okay, so what is this unsupervised? What is this supervised? We will discuss in further chats, but try to understand the terminology. So you are going to learn predictive modeling or descriptive modeling. So a couple of predictive modelings and one descriptive model is what in our plan of series of workshop in further workshops I will be covering for you. And today we are going to see one of the predictive modeling technique. Okay, right. So if you see machine learning as a tree, I'll try to, again, I'm telling you, first 15 minutes, you have to be familiarized with the buzzwords and terminology. So you see, machine learning types are broadly categorized into three types: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. Okay. And I'm telling you guys, supervised and unsupervised is what you have to really focus on. And most of the industry algorithms are industry problem statements or use cases are running around, right, supervised only. So majorly unsupervised, and a few are on unsupervised, and of course very few on reinforcement learning. Okay, so what do you mean by supervised? I will make you understand. Before that, let's try to understand. Supervised is broadly categorized into two types: regression and classification. So let me here try to make you understand supervised and unsupervised difference is, see, end of day, you are going to predict some, a data. Okay. So I'll tell you with one simple example: estimation of a time for you to reach office. Okay, from your home, let's say you are starting at 9 a.m. So by what time you are going to reach office? By 9:30 or 9:40 or 9:45? Okay, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes is the journey, right? So the 30 minutes, 45 minutes is what the time which you are going to estimate, right? So the time is what the dependent variable, that is what the one which you are going to predict. So here the factors for all, what are all comes for you is, you are starting at what time, on which day, okay, how the climate is, on what you are traveling. Okay, these are all factors which I can tell you are like, input variables or independent variables. We will try to see few more examples, but I am trying to make you understand with one example. Estimate, predicting time to reach office. Okay, so time is the predictor variable, right? Dependent variable. So the time, do you measure in numericals or like, textual form? Tell me. Obviously time is a numerical, right? So the one which you are going to predict, if it is numerical, right? So so first of all, if you have the dependent variable in the training data, right? So we call such sort of algorithms are supervised algorithms. And if you don't have whatever the variable which you are going to predict, if you don't have that in your training data, right? Let's say, uh, who is the best customer in your bank, right? If this question, if somebody is asking to the bank manager, so bank manager can show the data, right? I have 1,000 customers from so and so places, and so and so type, so and so age, so and so address, so and so mobile number, working in so and so company. But I never tracked who is the best customer every month or every week, likewise in previous, right? Today if you are suddenly asking who is the best customer, I cannot able to tell. That's, I mean, I'm just trying to tell you. So wherein in his previous data, who is best, who is not best, that was not tracked. Okay, so the predictor variable, right? The dependent variable, if it is not present in the uh, your training data, then that sort of algorithms are categorized under unsupervised learning, right? And supervised means you will have your previous, in the training data, you will have the dependent variable information. Okay, the one which you are going to predict, the previous answers will be there in the previous training data. Let's say I was talking about estimation time, right? So yesterday how much time it took? Okay, 33 minutes. Day before yesterday how much time it took? 37 minutes. 3 days before, 39 minutes. Okay, 4 days before, only 21 minutes, because it was on Sunday, because obviously no traffic. So last 3 years of data, if you take every other line in the Excel sheet or a spreadsheet, right? You have the time taken to reach office. That is the answer which you have already got. Now you have to predict tomorrow how much time you are going to take. So based on the previous data, in which both input variables as well as the output variable is there. Okay, so such sort of algorithms comes under supervised, where in the output, in the training data, if you don't have output variable, such sort of algorithms are comes under unsupervised. Now let me try to highlight regression and classification. So regression is like, both regression and classification will, in the training data you will have the output content, output variable. But the difference between regression and classification is, so in the regression, the output variable will be in the continuous fashion, right? As I was telling you, estimate the time to reach office, right? Estimate the price of a used car, estimate the price of a house to purchase, right? So these are estimate the time to yeah, so time, estimate how much, predict how much Sachin Tendulkar is going to score tomorrow in the match. Of course Sachin Tendulkar is already retired. So let's say Kohli tomorrow, how much is going to score? Will he score century or not? How much he score? So these are all numericals, right? So numerical, that anything which you are predicting, which is in the numerical fashion, then that comes under regression algorithm. Regression, the other name for regression is estimation. Okay, fine. So continuous data under regression, maybe you can in braces you can highlight it's a continuous data, okay, which is numerical data. Now let us move to classification. So okay, so you see the list of algorithms I have highlighted. Those are all various regression technique, regression models, simple linear regression, multiple linear regression, polynomial, decision tree, random forest. These are all various machine learning models wherein we can able to estimate the continuous data. Okay, so classification model, what does it meant for? Okay, so if you see in the classification also you can able to predict the future data, where in the training data also you have in the training data also you have the predictor output variable, but the point is the data is not continuous. The simple example let me highlight for you for the classification is how much how much sorry, whether India is going to win or not. Okay, so yeah, you have to predict tomorrow India versus Pakistan match is happening, whether India is going to win or not. Okay, so yes or no. Okay, whether you will come on time or not, yes or no. Okay, so how many what is the grade you are going to get? Okay, A grade or B grade or C grade or D grade. So there are different classes. Data got segregated into various classes, unlike numericals. So we call categorical data or textual data. So if your dependent data is in the form of textual, then that sort of algorithms comes under classification technique. Okay, so these are some of the classification techniques which you can see, right? Okay, let me proceed. So clustering and dimensionality reduction. So this is a couple of algorithms which comes under unsupervised. Okay, so clustering means what? You have whole lot of objects. What you need to do is which object comes under what category you don't know. Based on the features of the objects, you have to segregate it, right? So that is nothing but called unsupervised. And reinforcement learning is like what, based on the previous act. Results you will fine tune amongst yourself, right? So first you will go and attempt something, right? If it is wrong, if it is how much it is wrong, how much it is correct, you'll get the message, you'll get the feedback. Accordingly, what you will do is, right, you will tune yourself. I'll tell you with a simple example. You all play games, right? Okay, video games. So whenever you play first time a game, right, you may cross level 1, which is obviously very simple. Level 2, when you move, you may not cross because you may hit with some block, so your game will get over. So when you play the second time the same game, obviously level 1, whatever the mistake you have done, you will not repeat once again, because that was the learning for you in the first attempt. So based on that learning, you will proceed and you'll overcome that block, and you'll move to the next level. Likewise, based on the previous experiences, you will fine tune yourself, reinforce, right? So if you do good job, you'll get rewards. If you do bad job, you will get some actions on your head. So these are like, majorly I recommend you to focus on supervised. Your focus must be like 60% on the supervised algorithms, 30% on the unsupervised algorithms, and 10% on the reinforcement, if you have to really differentiate. Now let's try to understand the terminology, right? So right. So basically, as I told you, the data must be labeled and continuous. That is your supervised learning. Unsupervised learning is like, what? There should not be any labeled data. There is no, in the history, there are no answers. As simple as that. In the history, there are no answers. The machine learning task of inferring to describe hidden patterns, structures from an unlabeled data, labeled, unlabeled. Okay, I'll try to position these things in uh, a clear and easy way with the help of pictorial format. Okay, so let these definitions be like that. We'll proceed with you know the steps involved in the machine learning model. Why the reason I'm skipping the previous slide, because you will get to know more with pictorial formats. Okay, that's the reason. Let me proceed. So these are the steps which involved in machine learning. Let me speak. You have to collect the data. Let me explain this with a simple example. Estimating the price of a used car. You can't just tell, you can't ask a machine, please tell the price of this X car, right? First, before that, your machine has to be trained, right? So what are the steps involved in that? So bring in the data, right? And the data which comes in for you in maybe the various formats, that data you have to clean it. Okay, you have to make ready, prepare it, explore it. Okay, and you have to submit the clean data to the model. Okay, so model will be getting trained on the very cleaned data. Okay, and then now your model is ready, to predict. Okay, so now evaluate your model in the sense, okay, internally you evaluate your model whether it is really working properly or not. Okay, once if your model evaluation predictions are going good, okay, so what you have to do is you have to go ahead and deploy your model on the client machine. Okay, so as I was telling you, right? The systems acts like an agent. Environment is a video game here. Agent is like you, right? So you will have to understand the various states in the environment, and then if you proceed, if you cross the levels, the reward is like what you're moving to level 3, level 4 in the game, right? If you fail it, like action is like it's a learning for you, right? So that is based on the learning with feedback. Reinforcement learning feedback is not correct ground truth label or value, but measures of how well the action was measured by a reward function. So what the point I am trying to convey here is like so these actions, the learnings, whatever the agent or the machine is going to get is like it's like only the estimation, right? You have to learn out of them, and you have to tune yourself, and accordingly you have to move further and smartly put actions on your environment. In the sense, as per our example in the game, smartly you have to play, right? Okay, so these are all the steps anyways. In the previous slide I have explained, but I would like to touch upon another step which is very important, which I would like to show. Okay, so let's see. So let's discuss on actually how does machine learning model helps. Okay, so these things, some examples of machine learning we'll try to understand. Okay, see, if you see Amazon, if you see Netflix, how Amazon is like giving offers for us for so and so gadgets, right? It is based on the machine learning only, right? How Netflix is showing up, this movie is like is acting. I mean, for you, when you join the Netflix, if you watch one sort of one genre movie, automatically 10 different genre, same sort of genre movies will come and fall for you. Even in the YouTube as well, right? If you watch one, a comedy video, there are like recommendations it will show, right? So recommender system is one of the machine learning algorithm which we use to the Netflix or YouTube are using the recommender system based on your previous actions. It will recommend you. Okay, loan, banks will provide loan for us, right? So how does they will ensure the customer is really going to pay the loan or will it default? So first of all, how they scrutiny the customers, again with the help of machine learning. And there are some your what are the GSM companies, like network providers, they also release offers for us, right? Okay, so not all the time offers are same. So based on how the, if it is festival, if it is so and so plan is there, which is like everybody are willing to take that. Okay, where the people are scattered more, in which city, in that city only they will give like more plan, the focus will be more. It's like what, these are all certain use cases where all behind of the story is like they for sure should be using machine learning technique. These are all some of the use cases or examples of machine learning I can tell you, right? So So regression, prediction, classification, clustering is what we have just now understood in our previous charts. So basically regression means what? Estimating the continuous data. Classification means what? Predicting the category, class. Clustering means what? You don't know which item belongs to what category based on the features you have to decide. Associations are like, again, based on the item. Let's say you are purchasing, let's say if you are purchasing, let's say headache tablets, automatically, you know, uh, Jendubam or Amrutanjan, like these things will be popped up for you. Okay, a customer who purchased the headache tablets, automatically he would be purchasing for sure Jendubam as well. Okay, so likewise, association frequently co-occurring items. Okay, so this is one of the specific algorithms most of the retail market players will use a lot. Okay, so anomaly detection, sequence mining, dimensions reduction, so recommender system. So these are all anomaly detection means what? So basically, who is the thief out of all the 1,000 members? In the sense of out of all, out of all, 10,000 bank customers, right? Who is the person who are all the people who are not going to pay the loan, who are going to default the loan? So using such sort of algorithms, we can able to, find out the people who are going to default the loans. Okay, the sequence mining, like one after the other action. Okay, predicting next events, right? Diamond. These are like certain deep learning, major machine learning techniques. I can tell you, you don't have to become expertise overnight on all these machine learning algorithms. I am telling you, if you can able to understand regression, classification, and clustering, okay, at the stage whatever you are now currently, it's pretty much good enough. Once if you are very much familiarized with the regression, classification, clustering, and then the time for you to move ahead and explore the other machine learning algorithms. Okay, so these are the modules which are helpful for us in Python: NumPy, SciPy, Matplotlib, Pandas, and scikit-learn. Okay, if you see, NumPy is numerical Python, which helps. NumPy helps a lot for us in working with the two-dimensional arrays, and SciPy is another third-party module in Python, which helps like very lots of numerical algorithms, statistical stuff. It's a scientific Python. Okay, so lot of math and stats related functions and properties have been merged in this module. SciPy. Matplotlib is another module which helps for us in showing the data in the form of pictorial, like we have got introduced to this in our last session, right? So Pandas is something which helps a lot for us in working with the data frames, right? So data frame is nothing but your data, basically your table, your Excel, whatever the data from wherever the location it comes for you, that must be, you have to convert into form of a data frame, correct? So, and that's how you will apply your data pre-processing technique. So Pandas is one of the module which you have to know. And of course, last but not least, that is scikit-learn. Scikit-learn is one of the most popular machine learning library which you have to explore. So this scikit-learn gives us lots of classes and methods which help for us in working with the machine learning algorithms using Python. Okay, so if you see some points about scikit-learn, it's a free, right? Of course, you can able to straight away download from the web. Okay, so how do you download the third-party libraries? Tell me in your Python. Pip install your sklearn, right? Pip install pandas. No, sir, I don't want to use idle. I would like to get into Anaconda. That's fine. Anaconda. See, all these modules comes in Anaconda. You don't have to exclusively install any module. Let's say, but TensorFlow tomorrow, if you are going and working for deep learning, TensorFlow, Keras, those are also available for us in the form of external modules in Python, but those things are not available for you in Anaconda. You have to install exclusively those modules in Anaconda using, Conda install TensorFlow, Conda install Keras using such sort of commands. Okay, right. So you see, it's free, using which you can able to, as I told you, regression, classification, clustering. These are the major algorithms in machine learning which you can able to work using sklearn. Works with NumPy, SciPy. So this is like, integrated with your NumPy, SciPy, Pandas, and the documentation is pretty cool and easy to implement. I'm telling stats model is the another machine learning library which we have, right? I don't recommend you to go with the stats model for now, right? So you have to start off with your sklearn. Once if you are comfortable with the sklearn, then I recommend you to utilize the stats model library. Okay, so the flow, if you see once again, right? Data comes in first, you process the data, you have to split the data into train and test. I'll speak about train and test. We will start. We will resume in 5 minutes, guys. Just give me some time.
Hi, Yukesh. I think we are back.
Hey, hi. Can you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. We can get started with it.
Let me share my screen and just inform. Yeah, is that
Yep, we are good, Yukesh. We can continue.
supervised versus unsupervised? Can you see that?
We can continue. Yes, yes, we can continue.
Thank you. Hey, sorry guys. So the weather was a little bad here, and it was like power hiccup. Let me. Uh, so so with understanding, so supervised, unsupervised. Anyways, we have got difference. Okay, let me do something in the interest of time, as we have lost some time. Let me proceed with. Okay, so basically, regression algorithm is what I would like to focus for today, right? Uh, so so let's move on. What is regression? Okay, so I hope everybody can able to see the screen, right? Now you see, as I have told you, a regression algorithm means it is all about estimating one value based on another. So let us make you understand with some sample example. First, try to understand the terminology. So there is a data set here. If you see, okay, it is all about four-wheeler cars size and cylinder size, right? And fuel. In variables, and CO2 emission is something which CO2 emission is something which you have to predict. Okay, this is called the target variable, or this is called the dependent variable. Okay, now if you see ninth row 2.4, okay, and engine size is 2.4, cylinders are 4, and fuel consumption is 9.2, and then you have to predict what is CO2 emission is going to be. Okay, so this is what you need to. So how do you predict is what all the question for us. Okay, you are going to predict is a number game or textual data. Tell me, it is a continuous value in the sense it's a numerical value. So in the terms, you will find only numerical values. Okay, right. Now let me proceed the charts. Okay, so you see here basically our model will be getting trained with the historical data. Okay, in the historical data, it contains the cylinder size, engine size, consumption, and the CO2 also, how much it got emitted. All previous data we are going to train that to our model, and now whenever a new car comes up, like you have to estimate its expected CO2. So end of day, whatever you are going to estimate is a CO2 emission in this example. So in the regression models, which you are going to predict is the continuous data. And the important thing is in the history, in the already emitted CO2 values previously.
Hi, Yukesh. Are you speaking on mute? I'm
Okay,
not able to hear
so
you. Hello?
no, I no, no. Now it's fine, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's fine, Ayush.
Yeah, let me share it. Okay, so types of will try to understand simple regression and multiple regression. Okay, so what do you mean by simple regression? If you see, uh, predicting variable is what CO2 emission. CO2 emission is the predictor, right? So based on the engine size, okay, with one input variable, if you are trying to predict the output variable, that sort of algorithm, that sort of model is called simple regression or simple linear regression and simple non-linear regression. So linear and non-linear, a couple of fashions or types which are present in simple regression. So most of the times we focus a lot on simple linear regressions only. Right. So basically, simple means what? You'll have only one input variable. Multiple regression means what? You will have more than one input variable. Basically, concept is so multiple linear regression is like stands on the concept of simple linear regression only. So here you will have more than one input variable, right? Okay. So simple and multiple which we are going to explore. So some of the regression applications, if you see sales forecasting, right? So how much sales I'm going to do tomorrow on so and so products, right? So satisfaction analysis, so satisfaction of a customer, right? Satisfaction of a student, satisfaction levels of a employee, right? So price estimation. Okay, so if I decrease the span, if I decrease the so price estimation means what in this so and so item, right? It will cost for how much? Okay, so these are all numericals only. If you see employment income, so for so and so sort of employee, whatever the what sort of is going to be, right? So any example, if you see numbers only will speak, right? So that's what the regression algorithm funda is. Okay, so it revolves around the numerical stuff, continuous data. Okay, so these are some of the list of regression algorithms. These are some of the regression to understand. Okay, so right from ordinal, Poisson, fast, these are all like a huge list you have, but I recommend you focus first with the linear regression, and by you have to understand decision tree and random forest regressions. Okay, and subsequently you have to build your skills on Navy based linear regression and neural network as such. Okay, so KNN is one of the very old regression model out of all. Okay, so let's proceed with the simple linear regression. Okay, so here the same data set, if I have to take, independent variables are in index and fuel consumption, and dependent variable is CO. So, Debs, can you please confirm which voice is fine? Because Debjani, you're there? Okay, cool. Thank you. Uh, so basically, what I'm trying to tell, one, if you see left side engine size, so based on the engine size, we are going CO2 emission. Okay, so how we can be able to, how based on the engine, we can able to going to predict, sir? Let's see. Okay, so linear regression topology, just now we have seen simple means like only one input variable, multiple means you will have couple of input variables, right? So let's try to understand how we are going to predict this. Okay, right. So let us say let us say if you have this is the line, this is called the linear line. Okay, try to understand, this diagram is very important for understand. Okay, so x-axis is something which you have to provide, that is like, already existing data input variable we call, that is engine size is what I am going to put here. Y-axis is like, output variable or a dependent variable, okay, or target variable. These are the terms people will use. And you see, it is showing up 2000, sorry, 214, which is, so the line is the estimated line. Okay. So this estimated line will 2.4 is touching, and the same 2.4, how it is touching to the Y, this approximation, it is 214. That is how the value is 214. You can predict. The machine learning model, linear regression model, works on the basis of straight line. Okay, so straight line, what is the formula of straight line? If you remember, right, y equals to mx plus c, right? You go back to your good old days, right? So y equals to mx plus c is the straight line. So where is m is the slope, c is the coefficient, right? So here the terminology got changed, that just right, theta naught plus theta 1 into x1. Okay, some documentation speak a plus bx, okay, b plus ax. You don't have to bother about the constants. Point is you have to bother about the equation. Okay, with this equation, what we are going to get is the target variable or response variable. Okay, and what is the theta 1? Okay, mx plus c. What is the theta 1? Theta 1 is the slope. Am I right or wrong? Slope. So what is the slope? If you know the slope, you can input, and x1 is the horizontal value at the bottom. Okay, so if you know the slope, if you know the x1, right? You should be able to find out the theta naught, and along with that we can able to find out the predictions. So I will show some math behind this as well. You please try to focus here. Okay, how to find out the best fit lines. Okay, so sir, shall I draw my line like this? Shall I draw little downside to 0 degrees, or little upside to 90 degrees? The best fit line. Okay, so the
Hi,
whole
Yutesh.
aim of yeah.
Yutesh, sorry to disturb you again. We are having some audio issues again. So can we pause for a second and figure this out? We're having some
Okay,
audio
okay.
issues. Yeah, yeah.
Shall I pause?
Uh, to pause the sharing, just pause the session for a second. Let me just figure out what the issue is.
Okay. So guys, voice is clear for WebEx folks, but the people who are joined, for them the challenges. So we are stopping for minutes. So guys, be patient. Some challenges as we are working from home these days.
Why it is not audible? I mean, hi Yuktesh.
Okay, guys, let me share. Okay, so basically, okay, guys, so let me proceed. What is this error? I am trying to make you understand. If you see, uh, say at the value 5.4, at the value 5.4 of the independent variable, what is the predictor? So what is the actual y is like, right? Okay. Now, but your straight line is speaking, if this is like your linear line which you're going to predict, right? So if it is speaking 340, right? So what is the error? Tell me. Error is like, actual minus predicted value. Okay, so if I have to speak in a very simple terms, right? So your question is 3 into 4. Okay, so 3 into 4 is the question, right? And actual answer is 12. Already know, but whenever you are giving to the machine, okay, so value of 3 into 4, okay, if your machine is predicting it as like 10, right? So what is the error here? So actual minus predicted, right? So 12 minus 10, error is like 2, right? If you understand this actual value minus predicted value, to what extent it got predicted properly, that how it is lesser than the actual value, if you understand that term, right? So error is like y minus y hat. So y hat is the your predictor value. Okay, so 250 minus 340, so 90 is what minus. So forget about the units plus or minus, but somehow error is speaking something for us, right? Okay, so equation for to find out the error is, we call MSE means y minus y hat of whole square. For all the points you have to do. So if you see, this is a red line. Okay, so from this line, okay, which are all the points are very closer to this line, so that line like, the best fit points are like the best fit line. Okay, the line which passes on to the maximum points. Okay, so that line is called as like the best fit line. So you see, this is the formula of it. Y, predictor y is equals to theta naught plus theta 1 into. So what is this theta 1? So this is what called slope, mx plus c. M is called slope, right? So find slope of equation. If you go back to your again good olden school days, so this is what the equation. So this you use to find out the slope, right? So xi minus x bar yi minus y bar divided by xi minus x bar whole square. So this is what the standard equation to find out the slope, right? So if you see this, these are all x values and these are all y values. X bar means it's mean of your mean of all these values total by number of values, average, what called mean. Am I right? Okay. So Devjani, can you please confirm my voice is audible?
Yep, Yuktesh, you are audible now.
Thank you. Okay, so right, so y hat, so y value means, so you have to, so you need to understand the, okay, so let us say price and sales, mean of x, mean of y, xi minus mean of x, yi minus mean of y, right? So the whole equation goes like this. So this value is y minus mean of y is here and divided by xi minus x bar whole square. So this you have to perform for all the values. So b is the slope in this equation. If you see y equals to a plus bx, right? And how I can able to find a? Okay, so put b at the left side, y minus bx. So this is how you will find out the a. Likewise, here also you come and see theta naught. If you apply it, right? So x bar is like, you will getting 3.34 bar, you will getting 256. Okay, so ultimately if you find out the theta 1, if you these values here, you will get theta 1 as like 39. So how can I find out the theta constant? Okay, theta naught equals to y hash y bar minus theta 1 into x bar. Okay, so you see 256 is what this, and minus 39 is what your theta 1 into your 3.34. So this is basic mathematical your equation only, guys, nothing rocket science. If you go back to your 8th 9th standards of mathematics, you must have already done this sort of problems. So now you have your theta naught, now you have your theta 1, and every new value of x, apply this theta naught and theta 1, automatically your y value will come. So see here, now the 9th row is what which you are going to predict. So here emission, so prediction value is y, your CO2 emission. Okay, so CO2 emission is equals to theta naught plus theta 1 into engine size. So engine size is how much, which comes from the database, your table, your spreadsheet 2.4. Okay, so 39 is what theta 1, and 1 is your constant. Okay, these two values which we have generated using the straight line methodology. CO2 emission value is how much, 218.6. So this is the only predictor. Okay, through algorithm we have found out that this is the way you can able to find out the new value of your CO2 emission for the 9th row. Okay, so how much this is correct based on the original value, you have to check. Okay, that is not the error. Okay, so this is what all about your linear regression. It is very fast. Okay, don't need to do any parameterized tuning, because there most of the continuous data only, so you don't have to really tune any parameters. And if you see, it is easy understand. Obviously, if you know the straight line equation, it helps for you in understanding, and it is highly interpretable in the sense the display per se concept for understanding per se, linear regression is the very first and foremost algorithm we have, which is pretty much easy understanding sake. So that's the reason your study of machine learning algorithms is always to start with the linear regression. Okay, so now what I will do is I will pause here. Let me move to hands-on part. And I'll try to make you understand how we shall do, how we are gonna do this machine learning stuff. Okay, so see guys, I'm into Jupyter. Okay, so because of the connectivity, I'm just trying to show that in the Jupyter only. But obviously, if you go to IBM Cloud and then Watson Studio, there itself, or there also you can able to create your Jupyter notebooks, right? So let's get introduced to Jupyter now. So how I have opened this Jupyter? Tell me. There is Anaconda Navigator. Okay, in the last session I have told you how to install this. You install this Anaconda Navigator, right? The moment when you double click on this, navigate page looks like this, which is the combination of many IDEs, right? From Jupyter Lab, Notebook, Spider. Okay, so R Studio, there are multiple IDEs are there. So our recommendation is for the people who are interested towards machine learning and data science, they should go for Notebook as first. Okay, and then you can subsequently explore other IDEs as well. The moment when you click on Notebook launch, automatically browser page, home page gets open of your notebook. So if you see, there are lots of IPYNB files are there, and data files are there, .csv files as such. Okay, so these are all the files which I was working on. Now what I am going to do now is I'm going to straight one file. Okay, so this is linear regression. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I will to help you out how we are going to work on a simple linear regression. And so what is this all about? So let me first, okay, so let me first do, you see now what is my data set, sir? So salary and years of experience. Okay, you can quickly draw a, whereas x-axis is years of experience and y-axis is salaries, right? Okay, now what we are going to work out on this is like, these are all the list of data we have. Okay, so there are like 29 line items are there. Okay, so this is actually a salary underscore data dot csv. There is a document which is already present with me. Okay, if you can see, let me double click on that. It is salary.csv. This is how the data, real raw data comes in for you. Okay, so you have to handle the missing values. You have to handle the data exploratory analysis, and then the clean data is what you need to pass on to your machine learning. Okay, so here I have taken a very simple data set for you to understand the concept of machine learning, right? So I'm not bombarding with the huge data. First, let's start my recommendation is start with the very, try to understand the procedure of the machine learning model, and then you can slowly subsequently move on with your bigger and years of experience, and it is showing up. Now what we are going to, I will give a new value, right? So you have like, let's say 3.7 experience, 3.11 experience. So what must be the salary I should give? Or based on this data, somebody comes in like 10 years of experience. Okay, how much of salary supposed to give, right? So your machine learning model, we are trying to build a machine learning model which is going to help for us in predicting the salaries of employees based on their experience. Okay, let's proceed. So how to do, sir? First most you have to import the required libraries. NumPy and Pandas is which we are going to utilize this. So execute them. Okay, shift enter. Okay, you don't bother, I will give this with you all. So meanwhile, let me try to share that. GitHub. Okay, so here is what you can see. Okay, here. And also I'll share in the groups as well. Can you please share this? 1 second. Let me. Okay, so please download this. Please download this. You will have couple of notebook files, couple of CSV files for linear regression data set. The other is for multiple linear regression. The data set is for, so leverage those two. Okay, so you can focus with me for now, right? Later on you can able to download and work on. Don't try to do parallelly with me, right? So let's proceed with our. Okay, power has come. Just shift from. You have to zip it. Okay, so there's no option to download. How come? Okay, download zip. Can you see in my screen? Okay, so directly download the zip so that all these files will come and fall for you in the RAR or zip format. Okay, you can leverage that. Now let me proceed with the simple linear regression explanation. So first of all, you have to read your data set, right? So what is the function I'm using? Read underscore CSV is a function which is from the pandas module that helps in reading the salary data set. Okay, so I have read. Okay, so that is stored in the data variable. Now print your data. Okay, so let me execute this statement, right? So now let me execute this data. Okay, so now let me see the data which I have printed. Every other data of my CSV I have printed as a data frame, but it is not good practice to print whole data all the time, because sometimes you may be having like 200-300 rows. Okay, you can't display all these 200-300 rows here, right? Head is a function you have to use that helps in bringing in only top 5 rows, or else head of 2, if you give only, it will bring in top 2 rows. Fine. Okay, so you have to access the data you have accessed. Now try to see the statistical information of this data. Okay, so this helps for us in future steps. Okay, so data.describe. If I execute this, okay, so what I'll do is I'll clear all the outputs and then I'll try to execute once again. That makes more sense. So executing libraries, executing your importing your data, read underscore CSV. So if you people are working in Windows machine, what you can do is, if this data set is present in, let us say, C drive, what you have to do is C colon, okay, and let's say my folder, if it is there in, you have to bring in your data set something like this. Okay, and you have to call off your CSV file like this. But as of now I have, or else if you pull that data set into the path where your Jupyter notebook is there, you can able to straight away read by putting the only file name. Okay, so I have read this, I have read the top 2 rows, I have described the data. Now please try to understand these parameters. Count, which is giving 30 total number of line items. Okay, salary also total number of rows, line items, right? Mean means like, average of your years of experience. So average is like 5.31 years, and average of salary is like 76,000. Okay, standard deviation. Okay, so standard deviation is like it is giving 2.8. These are like how much data is getting deviate from one another. This is one of the important statistical parameter which you have to understand, right? So minimum is out of all, which is the least value, right? Maximum is out of all, which is the huge value, meaning bigger value. And 25 percentile means 25 and below percentage, how many people are there. Okay, so this is what the 3.2 years of experience means. 25% of the people are belongs to this region, right? 50% percentile means 47, 4.7 experience folks are all lies under 50%. Likewise the values for salaries as well. 75% means 7.7 years of experience folks are all comes under 75%. Okay, right. So let us find out the next step is there any missing values in our data set. Okay, so obviously we have to clear it out. See, before getting into the machine learning model building, you have to do all these steps. Okay, what is the first step you have to do? You have to import libraries, you have to fetch the data, right, using your read underscore CSV, and then check for the null values. Do you have any null values in your data set? If you have null values, you have to rectify them by replacing with mean as such. Okay, if you don't have null values, okay, you can proceed. Data dot is null dot any. Okay, let me execute this. So years of experience and salary, both of them are saying false. If it is nulls are there, it will show true. As of now, no nulls, that's the reason it is showing false, right? Check for the textual data is present in the input data or not. In the sense, years of experience, and let's say employee name is there. Let us imagine employee department or employee name is there. Employee name is obviously it is the textual data, right? So that is what it is asking for us to check, are there any textual data in the input variables or not. Okay, so if there is any textual data, you are supposed to do one hot encoding, right? So as of now there are no textual data, so I am not explaining you what is one hot encoding as of now. Okay, right, let's proceed. Because you can see both sides are like it is showing continuous values only. Okay, right. Now convert the data frame into NumPy arrays. Okay, this is very important step, and most of the time students gets confused about these steps. Okay, so you have to really very thoroughly understand these steps. Okay, so basically if you see, which is the input data, tell me. Input data is years of experience, and what is the output data? You have to your model should guess is salary. Okay, fine, right? So input data is column 1, output data is column 2. Okay, right. So you see index locking. Okay, data dot ilocation, right? So let me try to make you understand these things. Okay, so if I put comma, so before comma these are all row data. Okay, row wise data, right? When you put colon, okay, so you have not put left and right towards anything, means you have its understanding is pull every other row. Okay, and right side if you put 0:1 means 0th row is what you are, from 0th till end plus 1. Okay, already the value is 1 only here, means actually this value is also 0. So basically it is saying x value is only 0th column. Okay, 0th column only if you want, years of experience only 0th column only if you want, then you have to put like this. Okay, colon comma. Okay, so colon comma means all rows will come, and in terms of column, overall columns, okay, so you have to put 0:1 in the sense it will be get only first row for us, first column for us, right? And this is, so this is what, if you can guess, y is like, our target variable. Data dot ilog of column means left side again all rows it has to consider, and right side 1 dot 1 column 2. When I put 1 is the first column, from first column onwards, uh, first column till first column only, because this 2 means you have to assume it as like end plus 1. Last time also I have explained, right? So if you should know indexing and slicing concept thoroughly, then only you should be able to understand these concepts, right? So if you see 1 column 2, okay, so it means 1 column 2 means end plus 1 till 1 only it will bring in for us, okay. So x, if I display x, it is bringing in all the in the form of array, okay. Your salary stuff, it is displaying in the form of array, and y is what, salary is y and experiences are x. Am I right? So till here is fine, guys. So x and y arrays are ready for us, okay. Now, so as process of machine learning, these steps you have to do. You have to always check before getting into the model building, right? What sort of how the data is looking like, okay. So you have to construct a visualization plot and then understand what sort of algorithm I have to use. If you see, since there are two continuous variables, it is always recommendable to use scatter plot. So what is the scatter plot speaking? X and Y arrays you are taking, and EMP data is the label, color is the red, X label is experience, and Y label is salary. Legend, it will show EMP data, title is experience versus salary. These are all things which you have understood in the previous session. So when I make shift enter, right, it is showing as per the experience, your salary is also growing naturally. So this is called linear increment, like, so linearly the data is growing. The way how experience is growing, automatically salary is also growing. It is linear in nature. Am I right or wrong? So by seeing this diagram, so this is called scatter plot, okay. Scatter plot, line plot, what is the difference? Line plot will contain the attachments line between these dots, whereas scatter plot does not contain any lines. So by seeing this diagram, you must conclude that yes, it's better for me to go ahead and work on with the linear algorithm, linear regression, as data is linear in nature, okay. So you see now you have to proceed with the linear equation, okay. So linear regression. So what is the next step we have to do is, you have to split the data into training and testing, okay. So now you are supposed to train your model, okay. If you see the couple of very important lines here, I'm gonna explain for you, right, how I am going to separate my data. You see, sklearn is a module from machine learning, in which there is a submodule called model underscore selection. It contains a class of train underscore test underscore split, okay. So train underscore test underscore split, okay. Just give me some minute. What I will do is, let me explain that okay. So you please see, let me explain couple of few things here. Train underscore test underscore split, what is this? You see, this is what I'm trying to do in terms of coding over there. This is what your entire data set is there, okay. So if you do, you have to train your data, right. If you train your data, whole data, and if you test your if you provide some data for testing, it's like, what, I'll tell you in a very simple example. 10 questions is what you're asking your kid to prepare, and that's what the kid is getting trained on, the 10 questions. In the same 10 questions, you're asking you're asking him, you're testing him, right. So asking couple of questions to answer him, right. So from the same data set, you're asking the questions. When you do that, obviously kid will jump and answer, but you know what, kid is not able to answer the 11th and 12th questions which are going to come out of this problem statements, right? So here machine learning model also very much dependent on this data set. See, high training accuracy means kid studied 10 questions perfectly. Low out of sample accuracy means what? It means low when kid is attempting exam, if a out of box question comes, kid cannot able to answer. Why? Because kid is very much trained with that only 10 questions, right? Likewise, in the training set, if your machine learning algorithm, if you trained 100% and from this data only, if you're asking questions, okay, so test on a portion of a train test and train set means what? On whatever you studied on the same, if you I ask questions, you are not so great, right? See, in the exam also, that's the reason you study textbook, but questions may not come from the textbook. If questions come from the textbook, obviously all students will pass, right? And students are not really intelligent enough. But if a student study textbook, but questions have come in from the outside of the textbook, and but still student is able to answer, means then that sort of student is called very intelligent student. The same concept you apply here, right? You should not do training and test on the same data set. What you have to do is, you have a data set like this, right? You train on some portion of it and you test on some other portion of it. Likewise, you show only 6 questions to the student. You ask him to study the 6 questions. You don't show him 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th questions, but you ask him what is the 7th question answer, what is the 9th question answer. So now you see more accurate evaluation on out of your sample accuracy, highly dependent on. Okay, so basically what the point, the green color point is what the achievement is, what more accurate on your evaluation, okay, out of sample accuracy. In the sense, the understanding is student has got good amount of knowledge, so he can predict properly, okay, so he can answer properly, right? So like now what I'm trying to tell you is you have to predict. Okay, so k-fold cross validation I'll explain, but let me move to the hands-on part. So here what I'm doing is my training data is there, no? So training data, X train, X test, Y train, Y test is the 4 variables. You have to be so much clear. You have to understand these things in a very clear way. Okay, so let me try to make you understand these things. If I can, you see, okay, so here if you see, X train means what? First 24 rows of years of experience, okay, first 24 from here on, okay, so first 24 rows, first 24 rows only, okay, and that to 24 rows, not both years of experience and salaries. You should consider only years of experience, okay. So this left side portion, okay, these are all like your questions, and for them so Y test is this, okay, Y test is your answers of your salaries, okay. So in simple guys, so this is your X test, X train, and this is like X train, X test, and Y train, Y test. So this is like X train and Y train, okay. So this is like which you are going to predict X test, and this is like Y test, okay. So last 6 columns are like X test and Y test, and first 24 column your rows are last 6 rows are your X test and Y test, and first 24 rows are your X train and Y train, okay. So if you see, if you see 80% of the questions, and okay, so let me summarize, simplify this, okay. So X train is equals to 80% of questions in your textbook, okay, right. What is Y train is like 80 question, not person 80. Let me say like 80 questions of textbook. If you imagine textbook has got 100 questions, so these are 80 answers of in textbook. Okay, 80 answers uh, for above 80 questions. So question and answers, 80 questions, 80 answers is studying, right? Now X test. X test is like the 20 more questions which you have not studied. Okay, so training means what? Studying. Okay, in simple, training means what, guys? Studying. Okay, so 20 questions of your testing. Okay, or writing exam. Imagine writing exam. Okay, so now y underscore test, this something like the 20 answers. Okay, so 20 answers which you have written. Okay, so it's a key paper, key answers for those 20 questions. Okay, key answers for those above 20 questions. Now if you understand what I'm saying is, if a textbook contains 100 questions, 80 questions is what you are giving for a kid to learn, and right, you are giving exam paper of the rest 20 questions which you have, which where the kid is not got trained on that, right? And you have the answer, 20 answers in your right hand, and the left hand is what your kid answered sheet will come. You have to compare. So generally your teachers will compare examination your sheet and with the key sheet, right? So key sheet and your sheet is the predictor sheet, is what I'm saying here. So sir, why 80-20? That is what the decent split, I can tell you. You have to train 80%, and it is better to test your model on the rest 20% of the data. So train underscore test underscore split is what the class which is present in the model underscore selection module, that is taking the parameters. What are all these parameters, sir? X comma y are like your x axis and y axis, like train data and test data, dependent and independent variables. And test underscore size equals to 0.2 means what? Test underscore size equals to 0.2 means what? That's what it is saying. Like in the x train 80% data will go, and in the x test only 20% data will come. Okay, so random underscore state is equals to 0 means what? So whenever you execute this statement, okay, so what happens is, so if you see here, randomly some set of data has come out right here. So the same set of data only will work for your next steps as well. Okay, so all the time it has to take the same set of random data, whatever it has taken. So random state is 0 means whatever the data got split, the same data will be remain with it, like the 80% of data, whatever the split has been done. Okay, the rows remains with the x train only, and the test rows 20% of the data remains with the x test only. Okay, right, so those will not get shuffled here and there. That's what the state random we have to keep put here. So let me do that. So that step is done. Now let's see the shape of the x and y. So x shape, if you see, okay, so full data, full x is like 30 rows, y full shape is like obviously 30 rows. Okay, and with one column. Am I right or wrong? So this is experience, this is salary. Now x test shape means what? Only it should show, test shape means what? It should show 6 only. Right, I was talking about this only, right? So you see the y test is also, it should show 6 only. And you see train shape must be 24, it must be 20 80% of the data. And y train also must be 24. Are you understanding the split how I have done? 80-20 is what I have done. Okay, so now is what we have to start learning our machine learning model. Okay, so we need to get into linear regression. What is this? So this is what sklearn, the way how you have to understand is sklearn is what, you know, the actual module of machine learning Python, and that contains a linear underscore model as a module. So linear regression is a class which is present in the linear underscore model module. Okay, so you have to, this is like type 2 kind of import from is what you are using, so straight away you can use your properties. So linear regression is a class that helps in you know, you are doing your regression model, linear regression model. So all the step whatever I am going to do now is like I am going to train my you know, data model with this data x underscore train and y underscore train. So this is giving a variable called regressor. Okay, so that can be constant, you can put whatever the name you want. So using it's like, you know, this is like, you know, if you remember my oops concept first program, x1 equals to x, right? X1 equals to x and x1 dot m1. So what do you mean by x1 equals to x? This is an you know, linear you know, x class object. That object address we are storing in a reference variable, that is x1, and you are calling a x class method m1 with the x1. Okay, so you generally turn this as like object name dot method name, but actually speaking in the Python, reference variable dot method name. Okay, so likewise if you see the above two lines also looks like same. Okay, the linear regression object reference variable is regressor. So we are going to call a method called fit, which was defined in the linear regression class. So using that reference variable is what you need to call. So regressor dot fit x underscore train y underscore train. So you are giving 80 questions and 80 answers to your kid. Okay, imagine. Okay, so 80 questions along with 80 answers. Okay, you have given. So now your fit means like, you know what it is, it will undergo for training. So now your kid is studying aside right now, sitting a corner and studying. Likewise your machine learning model, linear regression model is getting trained with this data. Okay, now you see, now the model got trained with that 80% of the data. As model got trained, now we need to test the model. So to what extent, tomorrow usually your niece or nephew tomorrow, if he has got you know, a half yearly or you know, annual exam, right? So he will sit and study, right? Right, and in your childhood days also we have done. So what you do before sending student for the exam, right? You will test the knowledge of the student at home only, right? Parents generally do that for kids, right? So what do? They close some answers in the textbook and they'll point out some questions. Hey, tell me the answer for this question. Okay, they'll hide the answer. Am I right or wrong? The same methodology you have to follow here. So, and they'll hide the answer and kid will answer something, that something is equivalent to the original answer or not is what the parent will check. If the kid has answered all the answers correctly, then the confidence for the parent is my kid is going to do well in the exam. Am I right or wrong? In the same way here we have trained our model is our kid. For an instance, try to understand. So you have trained your model with the 80% of the data, and now you are testing your model. So now you have to go for another method called predict. Okay, so you are getting introduced to new methods of you know, regression class, that linear regression class, which is coming from the sklearn dot linear underscore model. So regressor dot predict x test. What is this x test? X test are the questions asking by mother, right? So she will hide the y test. Are you understanding now? So y test is the key paper, right? So mom will hide the answers and she will put the questions. X test is what that is, like the 20% of the. So as per our example, I was highlighting this only. So ma'am is hiding. So your mother is hiding this. Okay, she is closing this, and mother is asking only for a 10.5 experienced person. Can you tell me what is the salary which we have to give? So kid is telling, kid got trained under first 80% of the data. So here for the easy per se, I'm selecting the first 80, but you know what, randomly it will pick. That is what your trained test split class helps for us. Okay, right. So this is what mother hided, and kid is telling, let's say 121876. Okay, only the difference is the minor, that 4 units, 4 rupees as such here. So more or like error is 0. So you need to strive for error must be 0. Okay, good model, good machine learning model, error is always 0. But you know what, error 0 models will not be there. Always models comes up with lots of errors. You don't have to bother about that. Let's proceed now. Here is, this is what your kid answered. Okay, whatever it is. Now this is what your key paper. Okay, so you can compare ypred and ytest values. Almost it means if it is almost closer, it means model prediction is good. Now how should I compare? Okay, in the layman terms, mom will open the key and check with the kid answered stuff, and both the values will be getting compared by mom very easily. But how our machine learning model will compare? So for that you have to understand the metrics. Okay, so there is a R score value will be there. So R score is one of the metrics that helps for us, accuracy, how to what extent the accuracy it is, right? How accurately your model got predicted. Okay, sklearn.metrics import R score R square underscore score. Okay, so it is R square score we call. Okay, R square score is a, it's a function which is present in metrics module, I can tell you. So if you use that, it is bringing in, so it is taking in both the key as well as the answer sheet, right? So ypred is something which machine has predicted, ytest is something which we have as like a key. Okay, so actual value, we call actual value and predicted value. Okay, so let me highlight that. Actual value comma predicted value. So once if you pass on this, it will give accuracy, right? So that accuracy, if you let me execute. Okay, I have not executed this, is it? So let me execute these things. Linear regression model. Okay, so ypred. So this is what the prediction is, what it is giving. Okay, so 6 values only, right? So ytest. So this is what your answer sheet is, and this is what your kid written answers are. Okay, our machine predicted values are. Okay, now you have to find out the accuracy, to what extent these two values are correct in terms of percentages it will give you. See, so here, if you, the moment when you execute this, R score is giving 0.98, means what, R score is like always 0 to 1. Okay, so if R score is closer to 1, your machine learning model is one of the best model. If R score is closer to 0, means your machine learning model is not a best fit model. Okay, so that is what the summary in terms of understanding. So since R score means 98%, the model is, see, this is what 0.98 means, what it is almost 98%, right? 99.9%. So your model is predicting fine for us. So let's see what are all the steps we have performed in a nutshell, right? So these are all the steps in a machine learning model we do, right? So what we did is we read the data, and right, we analyze the data. So analyze the data means what, you have to understand any duplicates are there, any missing values are there. Okay, so as of now, this model, this data set has not, I have not shown you any analyzing part as such, as the clean data set only I have taken. Okay, so you need to analyze it, you need to pre-process it, and then you need to train your model, and then you need to test your model, and you have to calculate the accuracy. So these are all the steps which we have performed. Okay, so there are a couple of more steps also is a possibility there for us to get include, right? Before training you have to okay, so what I did is split is what I did, correct? Here, let's say if I have to write the point which I missed is 3.1, let me write 4. Okay, so data, split the data. Okay, I have to split the data, right? Which questions I should give for kid to study, and which questions I should keep aside for my kid to ask to test him. Likewise, okay, which questions I should give for my machine to train. Likewise, you have to train and split. So this is what usual percentage is 80 and 20. 80 is what your machine learning model is going to train, and then you are going to test for the um, and the rest our 20% of the data. Okay, so these are all the steps what we have performed in our machine learning simple linear regression. Okay, so right, so now let me proceed. See, let me try to explain the so multiple linear regression also more or like looks the same, just that what you need to understand is there are two more values will be there. Like input data contains more than one input variable. Okay, so you see here what is how to use k-fold cross validation. So first of all, what do you mean by k-fold cross validation means? See, if you do the train and test split like this, if you train in the test split like this, your model is highly dependent on the data set, right? Okay, so and what the data is got trained. Okay, so I'll show how you have to come up with this problem is overcome with this problem is, if you have a data set, first you do fold the first some portion of the data and train your model with the bottom portion of the data, this 80% of the data. And next instance what you do is you fold this data. Okay, so just the blue color ones are the testing data and the gray color ones are training data. Okay, so the data set you train in this many fashion. Okay, first to close out this and you train them, and for second time you close out this sort of folds and you do it. Third time you train the data, you show this part of the portion and you close this part of the portion, and you train your model, and last one you train. Like, are you understanding what I'm saying? So what the point I'm trying to tell you is, random underscore state you have to keep on change and try to train the model. So whatever the accuracy will come for every time. Okay, so first time you got 80 accuracy, second time you got 84, third time you got 82, fourth time you got 86, right? So average of all these accuracies is like 83%. That is the original accuracy. Okay, so this accuracy, confidence levels on this accuracy will be more. Instead confidence levels on this accuracy. Why? Because here my train test split I have done only in one mode, in one style. Okay, am I right or wrong? If you see random underscore state underscore random underscore state is equals to 0. Okay, with this notation, okay, my data split is like this. Imagine first of all, so all time it will be like this only. All the time training data is this only, all the time testing data is this only. This will not get variate. So you have to keep on change your data, training data, and also you have to keep on change your testing data. So that's how, if you do check the accuracy, and for all the different types of folds accuracy, if you average, then that the main accuracy whatever it is going to come, average of all accuracy is I'm calling as like a main accuracy. This accuracy is the more strong to speak for us whether my model is really trained properly or not. Okay, right, so that is what your
Hi, Yuktesh. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, you.
Okay. Guys, what I will do is I will provide the recorded session. Okay, you don't have to worry. So point is all about linear regression is what which we would like to convey in this session. I think I have last 30-45 minutes is what that was fine, right? So the important point, the message was given like in regression, like you have to find out the estimate the continuous data. So we have found based on the experiences, okay, how salaries will get variate is what we tried understanding. Okay, so what I will do is in the Slack, in the Slack, I will share the recording session. At the same time, I will also put in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so but you can also write to me. Okay, so this is what my email ID. So students, if you can able to see in the chat, right? So take my email ID. If anybody has not got recording, you can write to me. I will be helping you out with that. But most of are connected with me, so I will share the recording link with them. Maybe in an hour's time. My recommendation for you is go and execute the linear regression first, and then next linear regression, like wherein you will have couple of input variables. Okay, so there you will try to one hot encoding and label encoding. Okay, so there help you. Okay, so in next session we will try to understand the classification model. So any questions regarding, you can always reach out to us in the Slack channel. Right, we'll be helping you out. So the Slack channel link I will share in the chat. One sec. Try to check. One second. So this is what the Slack channel. Okay, request you all guys to take this Slack channel and and you can also write to me. Okay, so we will help you out, guys. No need to worry. Okay, so if any questions, let me know through email or Slack channel. I'll get back to you. So next session, I will be focusing on like categorical data, where you don't work with continuous, rather you work a lot with the category. Is it a cat or dog? Okay, is it really come or not? Okay, really pass or not? Okay, so that is come or not? Okay, so whether loan will approve, sort of algorithms we'll be working on. It is classification technique. So there is logistic regression we are going to see. Okay, so any questions, you can reach me out on this email ID, as well as you can connect to Slack, guys. Okay, thank you all. So sorry for the hiccups in the internet. Hope you understand we are working from home these days. So that's what the chat. Okay, so I right. Thanks for your time. We'll catch up next week same time. Thank you all, guys. We are closing for now.